And we're getting to another one where it's no lymphadenopathy, and it's our beloved multiple myeloma. So multiple myeloma typically has no lymphadenopathy. It's not CD20 positive, and that's why it's not lymphoma. You don't take it as a lymphoma. But it's a neoplasia from plasma cells, plasmatic cells. And what is crucial over here is to do electrophoresis. And what you will see on the electrophoresis, you will see in the M region, you will see spike here. And it's the M spike. It's the monoclonal spike. Okay, that's one type of antibody. And typically, or two types. And typically, the multiple myeloma produces IgG or IgA. Okay, so you have lots of this. If you'll do a bone puncture and there's more than 10% of plasmacytes in the bone marrow, then it's multiple myeloma. Okay, so but typically, normally you have like more than 30%. And when you have so much of them, they also release osteoclast activating factor. And you will find typically bone lesions. So there will be typically bone lesions on X-ray and CTs. Okay, that's crucial. So bone lesions, there are too many plasmacytes in the cell. It's not a lymphoma, not at all. You don't take it as a lymphoma. And if there are bone lesions, there is a bone pain or pain of the bones. The bones will be painful, and there is no invasion to skin, so no rash, in contrast to ATLL. Remember that. Okay, another one with bone lesions. So that's multiple myeloma. You have also a very weak form of this, or let's say a predecessor of multiple myeloma, and that's MGUS. MGUS, it's typically people over 70 years, like 5% of them have it. It's sort of a incidental finding if you do a electrophoresis of the blood that they have also M spike, but that's the only thing they have. That's their own problem. They're having a M spike, but they don't have bone lesions and any other problems. But 1% of them can transform to multiple myeloma per year. So if you're having MGUS, 1% can transform to multiple myeloma. Okay. So that's multiple myeloma and MGUS. And the last one is Waldenström. So we talked about it a bit. So Waldenström, macroglobulinemia. So in this case, it's a lymphoma. It's CD20 positive. It's a lymphoma. The difference between multiple myeloma is that it has an M spike. If you do electrophoresis, it has an M spike here. But this is full of IgM. And IgM is a pentamer. And that's why over here, in contrast to multiple myeloma, where there is not such a high risk of hyperviscosity syndrome and thrombosis, over here it's huge. So hyperviscosity syndrome and, of course, thrombosis. So what's the main point of therapy is plasmapheresis to get rid of IgM. So you're cleaning the blood from IgM. Over here, there is typically a lymphadenopathy. So it's present, but what you have is a no bone lesions. Okay, so there are no bone lesions. There's lymphadenopathy, but no bone lesions, and it's CD positive. So it's a CD20 positive, so it's a lymphoma. So that's Waldenström. So that's last example I want to mention today. But still, I'm going to just show you the last summary in a bit different way, okay? And that is what is rather liquid and what is solid. So if I'll do a general overview of the lymphoproliferative neoplasms. So if we want to sum it up, so we got a hematopoietic stem cell and mutation of the lymphoid or lymphoblasts means I'm going to have a T or B acute lymphoblastic leukemia / lymphoblastic lymphoma. Okay, that's on one side. If the mutation is, so this is a bone marrow, so it's a primary bone marrow or thymus. Okay, so it's a primary lymphoid organ or tissue, as you want. In contrast to that, if the mutation happens in the secondary lymphoid tissue or organ, secondary lymphoid organ or tissue would be in mucous membranes, organ would be lymph node or anything that has a capsule that it's encapsulated. So in case it happens in the secondary lymphoid tissue, typically those are mature cells, so lymphocytes, and either it could be a T lymphocyte. I'm excluding NK today, but they're not important, and B lymphocyte. So they're mature. And in case these commonly are connected with skin, and over here you can have two types. One is solid, rather solid. One is rather liquid. So, and it's sort of a joke, but if it's liquid or if it's solid. So in case of it's solid, it's mycosis, fungoides. In case it's liquid, it's Sézary syndrome. Okay. In case of ATLL, you have version which is rather solid or rather liquid, depends how many cells are in the blood and how many lymph nodes are invaded. So again, it could have a rather solid or liquid form, so rather leukemia or lymphoma. Okay. Then we have a B lymphocyte and its mutation. So if it's liquid, so rather leukemia, typically remember CLL or hairy cell leukemia. So this is rather liquid version. And then you have a solid version. So mass, rather mass. And over here we got Hodgkin's disease, Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it's CD30 positive. Then we have a Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They're CD20 positive, mostly. Those are all the types we talked about. So it's pre-germinal center, germinal center neoplasm, and post-germinal center neoplasm. Okay. Over here you got the SLL form as well. So that's the solid form from the CLL. Okay. Over here I can still put Waldenström. It's a lymphoma. And last one, so it's not a lymphoma. We got multiple myeloma. So invades bone, and there's more than 10% or even more of plasmacytes, and of course MGUS, which has no signs at all except the monoclonality, so M spike only. Okay. So that's it. That's it out of lymphomas. I know it's too long. There are too many, but I tried to somehow put it all on one paper. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. And if there are no questions, see you soon. Or any questions?
Oh, for now, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I also don't. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. This
Bye-bye.
was great. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. And as always, check the description below for supplementary questions and other materials.